So everything happens in stages, right? So you know that in my last book, The Evolution of the Diligence Protocol, there was like an emergency recipe and we added fruit syrup to the JJ juice. So you had the sugar and the salt and the probiotics all together. So you had a complete electrolyte. That's no different than what you get from the IV bags when you're getting fluids. And so then we graduated into understanding that you're not supposed to be demonizing food. You're not supposed to be scaring people away from food. You're not supposed to be saying, oh, processed food is poison. You're not supposed to be saying that at all. That was the whole premise of the evolution of the JJ protocol. And I still see people today demonizing food. But now here's a new evolution. Mixing your food, not even mixing, blending your food in a blender with a milk base so you can get the bioavailable nutrition is the next level. It's the next level evolution. And so those that are stuck way back in saying that meat is poison, those that are stuck way back there saying that processed food is poison, those that are still stuck in the old world of demonizing food and air and water and all that stuff, you are being left in the dust. Because I'm telling you, my dog, even though her evolution is slow, she would have died this last Thanksgiving if I hadn't pumped her full of all the foods, the Gerber baby food, the Similac, the RX milk supplement, the anything else that I can get my hands on in my cupboard that is friendly for dogs, that is fatty acid, amino acid, prohormones, and minerals. I basically nutrition loaded her with everything under the sun that her body needs. Okay? And I wasn't demonizing food. I wasn't going organic. I wasn't playing the whole non-GMO bullshit game. I wasn't starving her. I wasn't saying, oh gosh, she can't have milk. It's so bad for you. No, I wasn't playing that game that people are playing right now who are starving themselves. So when someone says, oh, I'm only going to do a veggie type of blending, but not the meat. And I know people out there who are at major deficits. They're in so much amount of pain. They're in so much deficit. They need the blended food. They need the milk. They need the meat together, blended together. They need to be drinking that shit. If anything, they need all the freaking baby food or pureeing the softest steaks out there and putting it in a blender with the Weetabix. And they need to be drinking that. They need to start lengthening their telomeres and releasing the demons. And so it's not just about nutrition, because nutrition is one thing. It's about bioavailable nutrition. And it's not like taking everything in a supplement form. It's about taking the foods that are out there already in its solid form and realizing you have babies and you have parent cells in your body and you have to feed both. And so those that are still in the politics around food, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And you know it. Because you're still out there blaming everyone and their mother for everything under the sun. You're still trying to get away from the pain. You're still trying to get painkillers. You're still trying to be cured. And so, yeah, I get a little reactive to those that are in the JJ world that are still demonizing food. And I know they need the bioavailable nutrition the way I've presented it more than most people out there. The ones that are demonizing food need it the most. But you can't tell them that, right? Because they are stuck in absolution. The politics, the religion, and the scientific dogmas are the absolution for people to go away, not quietly, but to go away at some point. Because you know they will. They won't be able to handle the changes in the environment. They already have demonized the meat and the milk, the cheese, the eggs, fruits, and vegetables. They already demonized evolution. They already demonized anything that is different. And so they'll do the same thing over again, expecting a different result, but it'll be the same result, but it will be accelerated. The aging process will be accelerated. Their supernovaing will be accelerated. Everything will be accelerated. And so, you know, my dog is doing great. I mean, it's still a process, and it's still something to get used to. And I know that there's still a long way to go, but she's still alive. And she's eating her bones right now. Let me see if you can even see this. Okay, if she's eating her bones, she's doing okay. Just trying to figure out how to, okay? I can't ask for anything more than that. When you're basically starting over again with the dog, as well as with yourself, it's a process. It's not like instantaneous. And evolution is painful. And so, you know, people are like, oh yeah, you gotta eat this food, eat that food, whatever, stay away from this food, stay away from that food. I'm like, okay, it's about bioavailable nutrition. And it's all in the grocery store. It's in the processed food aisle. It's in the veggies and the fruits and the tubers and the fresh, foods. And it's also in the processed foods. And so when you take all the different processed foods out there and you put it in a blender, now you're getting bioavailable nutrition. When I took those raviolis, and she liked them last night, so I was trying to feed them today, but today she was different about it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put that in the blender. So I put that in the blender with her other mixture of the fish and the meat and other stuff. And then it's so thick, right? So then I have to add a little bit of water to it so I can give it that carrier force. And she's taking it in. And yeah, she might be, she's been, she's peed a few times a day. She didn't pee on the couch. She just took a nap on the couch. She got off the couch because she had to pee. Okay? And so I am just pumping her full of nutrition. Bioavailable nutrition. That's the key thing, is that you feed your children's cells the bioavailable nutrition, which means you're taking a milk base, you're adding the meat, adding other stuff, anything that's in the cupboard, minus all the crazy spices, add some salt, water, milk, or anything else, maybe a little fruit juice. You can add even some apples and cabbage and carrots and hunks of meat or whatever, Weetabix. I love that word, Weetabix. I don't know why. Okay? And that's how you get the most nutritious milkshake. Not these milkshakes that are only just milk and ice cream. Not just a veggie shake or a fruit shake that's all over the holistic world. Oh yeah, just drink your vegetables and that's it. Drink your freaking meat. Oh wait, there are the soy protein people like Sarah Farnell, who was mentioning the soy protein. Okay, fine. Put in some soybeans in there then. But I'm telling you, those that are not vegetarian or, against the meat society, those of you who have cancer disease and chronic illness or other types of issues, you need the pureed meat. You need the baby food. Or taking the softest cut meat out there and putting it in a blender, add some milk to it. But then I know the religious folk who are not going to do that because of the kosher thing. Well, you're going to have to find a way to do that, because that's your best carrier force of the best nutrition, a shot of nutrition. More than just a shot. That's like a streamline of nutrition that the body needs. Because I'm telling you, right now, everyone out there is living on borrowed time. Literally, they're living on borrowed time. In this climate change, how aggressive it is, where I'm just like making the connections left and right. And I'm really paying attention to my dog and her nutrition and her sleep schedule, that I even forgot that I had groceries coming again today because I got cleaning supplies, and I have another one coming, one more delivery today for, as far as raviolis. I forgot to get those. So I want to have those on hand too, so I can give her the carbs and the cheeses, the milks, along with her meat, okay, in a milkshake form. And I brush her teeth, because there is also, I have this, hold on, I'll show you what it is. This fresh dental clean gel that I put on that little thingy, and I go over her teeth, so that way the carbs and whatever aren't completely cannibalizing her teeth. So I do the best I can to mitigate against that, but she has to get the nutrition. She has to get the glucose, the salt, the electrolytes, the fatty acid, amino acid, hormones, and minerals, okay? My dog needs the nutrition. All of you guys need the fucking nutrition, but some of you don't understand what that means. You think, oh, just eating your food is your... No, you could be eating food and your body just processes it, but you're not getting the available nutrition because you have so many juveniles that can't even take in that food. And so you're feeding your parent cells, but the juveniles are eating the parents. But then there's so many juvenile cells that are eating the parents, that there's more juvenile cells than the parents. You eating regular food is not going to be enough when you have so many kids in your body cannibalizing you. That's called now the what is it? Everything has shifted. Before, when you were growing up, your parent cells were more in control. And so that's called being cured, being youthful and vital and you know, in your prime of your life. And then you start deteriorating. Why? Because you have now more juveniles in your body who can't process the food because you keep eating adult food when you should be now switching back to adolescent children food, baby food, so you can feed the kids and you can purge out the old world and start maturing the kids in your body. But that's not happening. People are aging, they're accelerating their aging process. And again, their absolution is their politics, religion, science. I'm going to read this because I like what I wrote, because that's exactly true what's going on in our society. Everyone is getting their absolution and going away quietly. The mainstreamers are going away quietly. They're accepting death. They're all over there saying, yeah, life is short, play hard, who cares? Get your V and that's it. That's all you need is your V, and life is short and play hard and give everything to your kids, right? And if their kids even survive. Is there a master plan? Your devolving genetic line. You have a chance to redirect. But remember, people resist change. And their politics, religion, and scientific dogmas are their absolution. Absolutely. Look all over Facebook. I see it all over Facebook. When you can blame that a person, place, or thing, group, politics, religion, and science, and element, that is your absolution. You have released yourself from any personal accountability for your position in life, regardless. Your love, hate, emotions, blame, sickness, all have been absolved by the system, giving you your spirituality and belief systems. So you can go away quietly and like it, as well as expect it and promote it to your kids. So when you're telling your kids, yeah, you're supposed to die someday and expect death someday, and it will happen faster for them in this environment, you have now indoctrinated your kids into destroying themselves at their own hand by starvation and family and social media audience. Death is big business. The system wants you to choose DEATH over life, and they want you to take as many people down with you at their own hand as much as possible. I see it all over Facebook yet again. The life is short crowd. Aha, you see, you have been indoctrinated to destroy yourself by starvation and lack of ability to change and evolve. Too worried about yesterday, the past, and completely oblivious to the present and or wonders for the future. Yet those who have been suffering hardship in their closed immune system cannot evolve, will not evolve, and will be blaming someone until their last breath. Okay? And that's why I see that people who are still blaming their parents or lack thereof. People are still blaming somebody for something. Their ex-wife, their ex-husband. And so I see it. That's the system's absolution for you, is when you have a closed system and you have all the trauma inside of you and that's what you're living from. That's your reality. And then, yeah, the DEATH crowd, that's a welcome thing. That's the EUTHANISAIA, whatever, euthanasia crowd, where they welcome oncology. They welcome all of the things that will cause them eventual rest in peace. And, of course, they go and promote that to everyone and their mother. And so, you know, people who are alive, I don't care at what point you are in life, you have a chance to redirect. You really do. You have a chance to redirect. And it would mean some changes, yes. But you still could have your same life on some level and still incorporate some, you know, minor changes and then later on major changes. But at this point, it's not about just nutrition. It's about bioavailable nutrition. Okay? Because it's not just about eating. It's about eating that actually will work for you. Because look the elderly and those who have, you know, obesity issues or emaciation issues, they're eating food and they're either getting bigger or smaller or aging. Well, why is that? Because they're not eating bioavailable food for their system. What is your system? They have a lot of juveniles. When you have cancer, disease, and chronic illness and the aging process, you have to now go back to square one. You have to break your food down. Not just to a fermented state. I'm not saying the JJ. I'm saying you need to now take your meat, your milk, your cheese, your eggs, your raviolis, and you need to break it down to a milkshake and drink it with a milk base. So that way your little babies can go get fed. And then eventually you can also be eating, you will be eating parent food and you'll be eating baby food simultaneously. That's what I've been doing with my dog. Hand feeding her kibble, well, her meat chunks, because she really won't eat kibble. She eats her milk bones to get the stimulation. But I'm giving her a milk-based, meat-based milkshake with everything under the sun. And I am not doing anything to stop her evolution. I'm not trying to use any kind of anti-inflammatories on her. I don't use any medicine on her because she doesn't need it. Okay? And I allow her to evolve and sleep and express and do what she has to do, even if it's uncomfortable for me. And so all of you people out there that are dealing with cancer, disease, and chronic illness and the aging process, you need to change your food. Because you can't give a baby a steak. And that's what's going on with those with cancer, disease, chronic illness, autoimmune disorders. They're giving their babies in their body a steak. So when you see a baby out there and you're putting a steak in front of them and that's what you expect your body to be able to process, it ain't going to fucking process that. That's called starvation. When a baby can't even get a steak, can't even get the food, the nutrition out of a steak. And that's what I need to write. I need to actually draw that picture. Because that's every single person on my Facebook with cancer, disease, chronic illness, autoimmune disorders, and the aging process is they have given their baby children, their babies, their infants, they put a steak in front of them and expect that baby to eat that steak. Baby ain't gonna eat the steak. The baby's gonna be starving and it'll be eating the parent. It'll be eating its own insides until done. And so you have not been told this because I don't even know if they're even aware of this. The system. I have no idea. Maybe they do, maybe no, I don't think so. Because the system has relied on the powerful families to each have a baby. And that's how the Queen Elizabeth, she's get the best medicine, the best everything. And then she has, her Charles and Andrew and all her other kids. She had a bunch of kids. And they have a bunch of kids. That's how they keep the powerful families in line, and that's how they pass down the information that they want people to know and that they know down the genetic line. And then they slowly release certain information to the public. But if they knew this, they wouldn't be having 1 billion kids. But then how would they explain how one person is staying in power for centuries and centuries? It would be like, what the hell, right? If Queen Elizabeth lived past 100 and didn't age. No, so she had to go through that process. So in a lot of ways, our leaders are like sacrificial lambs. But now we're giving the opportunity to our leaders, the JJ world, is that they don't have to die and reproduce exponentially like they are, but it does keep power in the family. It does keep a lot of people in power, which is fine, whatever. But now we're introducing another arm of the Hydra, which is called potential indefinite life. And that means that you have to understand how to get bioavailable nutrition. And it's not eating a steak and giving it to a fucking baby. It's called breaking your food down to something that is available to you and to the kids in your body so they can mature. Then you pull out the programming, the old world programming, and then you will see a difference in your phenotypical characteristics. You'll still be the same person. You might even be even more attractive when you can change the programming because you took out the fecal plug. Because you fed your body the nutrition that it finally needed. Now your kids are maturing. They're getting all the nutrition that they needed, that was accessible. It'll be painful, yes. But that's the evolution, is the pain of the bioavailable nutrition. So Audrey, that's amazing that you felt pain after you ate all the food that was broken down to a pre-digested state when you think about it. And you made it a milk base, so you understood the babies in your body needed to be fed. And now you're feeling the evolution. And you will go through it probably faster. That's the key to the whole JJ world. It's the evolution of it. It's learning things layer by layer by layer by layer. Because I had to learn it layer by layer. If my dog hadn't gone through what she went through this last Thanksgiving, I wouldn't have known about this. You realize everything that I've been learning is based upon personal experience that's based in science. Because again, why do you give grandma Ensure? Because she can't break down the food because she has too many babies in her body cannibalizing her, making her look elderly. That's why the people have issues with cancer, disease, and chronic illness and elderly, because they have too many microbial babies in their body cannibalizing them. And then they chalk it up to, oh, it's my time. It's God's plan that I die. Okay, that's the system's absolution, so you go away quietly. And you will. People will. They'll justify why it is that they're passing away or why they're dying or why whatever. And there's plenty of places to go. There's plenty of absolution out there. Let me tell you, there's a zillion religions out there. There's a zillion political dogmas out there. There's a zillion scientific dogmas out there to justify your belief system. So you go away quietly and no one has to know why you had to die. That's called the Hunger Games. We're in the Hunger Games because your children are going hungry and they're eating the parent, which is you. Where's Kat? Where's Katniss where we need her? Oh no, we are Katniss. We are the Hunger Games. And we'll win this. This district of JJ world, we will win this. Because we are in the Hunger Games. Every single Facebook is a district. Every single Facebook group, every single Facebook profile, you are District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. And you can be a Katniss and kick people's asses and whatever. I don't want to promote violence, no. But that's what I'm saying. We're winning in this because we understand bioavailable nutrition. And we understand we don't blame anyone for anything, for our own predisposed issues. We don't blame nobody. And we don't give credibility to somebody else. We give credibility to ourselves because we're the ones that took on the information, processed it, evolved, and became a better person if we choose to. It's not that person's reason why we're doing better. It's not that person's fault why we're doing worse. We made the choice to evolve or not. But our system is built on absolution. Our system is built on no personal responsibility. Our system is built on blaming somebody or giving credit to somebody else. Nope, you are the one that put yourself where you are, good or bad. All right, bye.